Not looking good at all as far as Asia is concerned. The Hang Seng down over 6% now. The Taiwan weighted down 5%. The Shanghai Composite holding on. And guess what? The Nikkei is down about 5%. And the Nifty futures in Singapore down 95 points. So when we started off, it was looking slightly better than what it is now. And we are just sliding deeper into the red. Mehraboon Irani joins us now. He is, of course, from Centrum Broking. Good morning, Mehraboon. How bad is it looking this morning?
I think, Mini, what we need to understand is that not many of us were ready to predict as to how long this rally will last. But I don't think many amongst us, I don't think more than a few of us would have possibly felt that the bottom was in place. At least I have gone on stating that the bottom may not be in place, because what we are going to witness is going to be very dirty numbers, which I personally feel corporates are going to announce in January. So I think the market needed an excuse possibly for this rally to end somewhere, and possibly the Asian markets and the US markets yesterday and the bailout plan possibly not going to come out as what was envisaged. I think that could be the excuse for this rally to possibly go off. But not many were ready to predict yesterday morning as to how long the rally is going to continue and how much further it will take the markets up. So what I'm trying to state is in short, I think what I have gone on mentioning, I reiterate, the time for investment buying as far as India is concerned has still not come. The concerns are for real, and what we have seen is the financial impact, the economic impact. We just started feeling, and everybody, right from analysts, from the fund managers to the politicians, to the corporates, are accepting the fact that things are not good at the moment. The second bailout package is, the Commerce Minister said, is going to come out very soon. It just shows the gravity of the situation. The fact is, all this are great positive measures for the next bull run to happen. But before that, the climax as far as the fall has not yet come.
Mehraboon, into this. Mehraboon, you were talking about the auto bailout. It's not happening. What repercussions do you think this will have on the markets? Because now the Nifty futures in Singapore is down about 105 points.
I think very negative. I think, as I mentioned to you, Mini, that basically market are looking out for an excuse that the rally has to end somewhere, and this is possibly the worst possible news that the market could have got. The reasons for this are very simple, because I think, let's understand one thing, this rally, one of the main triggers was the bailout package as far as the auto sector goes, in the US is concerned. And following that, we saw oil recovering, we saw all the commodity prices recovering over the last few days. And let's understand that was the reason why most of the Asian markets, including India to a large extent, where the metal stocks and other commodity stocks also went up, propelling the indices further. I think with this thing's going to cool down, I think there is another reason why the market should possibly come down. So I hope that something else works out in the US. I'm quite sure that they will take some other measures. But it may not be the best measure possible, because I think the bailout was the best possible measure as far as avoiding bankruptcy for these companies go. And as far as I understand, GM has already appointed lawyers, the bailout lawyers. So I think it couldn't have been worse news for the Indian markets this morning.
What it's looking like. But Mehraboon, the rally that we saw around Reliance, RNRL, and that entire clutch of stocks yesterday in the last hour of trade, largely perhaps because of the developments on the RNRL, RIL court case, do you think that has the possibility of supporting this market?
I doubt, I think. I think not many of us, many possibly, including me, is ready to mention as to why and what happened. I think, yes, the announcement which came as far as the government withdrawing, but that is not enough reason for me to be convinced as to why the share prices of both the brothers, of the group companies of Mukesh Ambani as well as Anil Ambani, why they suddenly went up in the last 15-20 minutes. I don't have any reason by which I am convinced, at least. So basically, I personally felt this rally, which was largely led by the Reliance Group companies, I appreciate that and I accept that in the last half an hour. I was possibly feeling that at least some of these companies where I feel that there could be disappointment as far as earnings goes. I think this rally which we saw in the last half an hour could possibly provide a reason for bear operators to go short in some of these counters maybe today. But I think looking at the way the news is filtering out as far as Asia goes, and now this US bailout package as far as auto sector is concerned over there, I think things should open sharply on the lower side, and that includes the auto stocks in India, which you all were discussing right now.
Mehraboon, what's your own take on this entire oil and gas space now? Crude has already cooled off on the back of this auto bailout package actually failing. How would you play the sector here on?
Well, I remain underweight on this sector, Rahul. I think what attracts my attention is the fact that if we see oil possibly again coming off after this news which has possibly come, then we could have another measure from the government maybe later of a further reduction in fuel prices. So oil marketing companies, I was negative. The entire oil and gas space, in short, I continue to remain negative because I personally feel this is largely reflecting the overall demand scenario which I expected to be bleak over the next few months. So I don't see there is any scope for this sector to outperform the overall markets over the next 3 to 6 months.
Mehraboon, your thoughts on stocks like Suzlon and ONGC now?
Negative. I don't see any reason as to why one should be looking at Suzlon, though I learned that some brokerage houses have possibly given a buy call at the present levels. I think some companies where you possibly start having your own doubts, the stock price continues to underperform very sharply, continues to disappoint. I think just looking at the stock price and buying into the company, I don't think is the best thing for an investor to do in this present market turmoil. And I think till the time one is not convinced about Suzlon, as far as its potential goes of earning money for the shareholders and for the company, I think one should not be looking at this particular stock. Frankly, yes, this type of stocks definitely provide good trading opportunities, Rahul, but beyond that, from an investment option, possibly I still remain negative on this stock. As regards ONGC, as I mentioned to you earlier, Rahul, I'm still negative, still underweight on the complete oil and gas sector.
Your own gut feel about where the Nifty could possibly head from here on? We've got a gap down of 100 points. We sort of recovered a little bit from there. What's your intraday call?
I think this reaction which we are seeing is definitely a knee-jerk reaction to the news which has come out. I don't think anybody, like Minnie was rightly mentioning to some other points which she was raising, that not many would have predicted as to what is going to happen to the market in the short run. And yesterday afternoon, most of us, let's be honest to admit, were expecting this rally to possibly surprise on the higher side, even in terms of time as well as in terms of value. But this bad news, I personally feel is a knee-jerk reaction what we are seeing right now. I'm not positive on the market. I'm just trying to say that the market will possibly make one more attempt to try and rally, maybe somewhere after the UK markets open, which should also be a knee-jerk reaction over there. But somewhere along the line, I possibly feel there's going to be some stability in the latter half of the session. The market will make an attempt to go up again. Right. But it's going to be difficult to close anywhere near yesterday's closing.
Mehraboon, last question. I know you need to go. The impact on the domestic auto plays, is it just a sentiment thing, or do you think things could go worse for them from here?
I think, Minnie, allow me to state that the figures which we saw as far as the auto majors, Maruti, Tata Motors, Ashok Leyland, delivered for the last month, for the month of November, I think we could possibly see this numbers getting worse over the next 2 or 3 months. So I personally am very skeptical as to what these companies are going to announce as far as the top line goes. Forget the bottom line. The top line itself is going to show possibly a sharp drop, maybe for December quarter and certainly for the March quarter. I'm quite convinced about that. So I personally am negative on this particular sector. So this reaction which we will see today related to what has happened in the US is definitely one part of the thing. But on the whole also, I don't personally feel that this valuation, while they may be looking attractive from other parameters, I don't see any reason why one should be thinking of going long or looking at this present prices as as opportunities to buy into this counters. Because I personally feel the outlook for the sector should remain bleak at least for the next 2 quarters, and one should not be in a hurry to buy into these auto counters for the moment.
Right, Mehraboon, we leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Myself, thanks for watching. Basis Point coming up on the other side.
Goodbye.